this economy where people may not have the money to actually buy a new home, remodeling is huge. We're going to talk about some remodeling ideas with Judy Pickett from Design Lines. Judy, thanks for speaking with us.
You're welcome, Paige.
You know, you were saying before that functionality really is key now. When people want to remodel, they're thinking of being practical.
They're thinking of function, how they use the space, how their family uses the space, and you know, the way a remodeler would or a designer would approach the project really does depend on if it's an empty nester, they're going to have different needs than a family with young children. So it's important to zero in on function and how you're going to use the space.
So if someone has decided they do want to remodel, what are the things that they need to keep in mind as they're going through the process?
Do your homework, hire professionals, builder and designer, architect, get references, and really seriously think about budget. And I think the professionals are going to be able to help you determine and manage your expectations, because the hardest thing is to get into a project and then realize, oh man, we can't do everything we wanted to do, we have to scale back. And I really do, though, tell everyone to go ahead and purchase the best quality they can. Like, don't skip on the quality.
You have a couple good points here that really just, you know, if you haven't remodeled, you may just not think of, like, for example, whether or not you're going to live in the space or use the space while it's being remodeled.
Remodeling can be the dirtiest, just most disruptive thing that goes on in the house, and especially if you're doing your kitchen, for instance. I remember one time we tore out everything in the kitchen. She was down to just bare studs. The cabinets were still there, but the countertops, we had plywood, so she had a microwave, a sink, some dishes, but it was like camping out. But you know, otherwise the whole family would have had to move.
And you want to know beforehand that that's what you're in for. Yeah. Okay, so you have actually a picture of a kitchen that you've done here. That's a good example of some ways that people have sort of upgraded.
Yeah.
Talk to us about these pictures.
Well, this was the before. It was probably a house that is 15 years old, so it didn't function anymore. You can see the appliances are somewhat dated, the finishes are not great, the cabinetry needed to be upgraded, and the clients went to a combination of stain and a glazed paint. We made the island all one level, and I think the biggest transformation was on the other side where the ovens are. We just opened it up completely and gave them a lot more space, a lot more usable space.
Now, an example of something that wouldn't be as sort of invasive, I guess you could say, would be this bathroom. Is that right? Where you go from the yellow to...
And basically, that's all aesthetics. Changing the walls, changing, this truly was aesthetic right here. It went from wallpaper, we changed light fixtures, changed the shower surround from this, you know, totally framed to something frameless, and that transformed the whole bathroom, and without a lot of money. So.
And another kitchen here we have, this is, I understand, a bachelor's kitchen. Some changes that you've done, talk to me about that. I see new appliances. It's a completely different look.
Well, this was really 25 years old, and it was the old Formica cabinets with the oak trim, and we completely went in there. We left the cabinets flush so that it still has a really cool, sleek design, changed all the appliances to stainless, put new flooring in. It had the old parquet flooring in, put stone in. I mean, again, it's a simple kitchen, and it's not really that big, but the transformation again was huge.
So something to keep in mind also, I know you mentioned beforehand, is that you can really customize everything from counter height to, you know, probably doorknob height, I guess, depending on who's going to be living at the house. For
instance, Paige, I would probably raise the counters just a little bit on an island for you. I had a client that was my height or shorter, and we lowered them 1.5 inches for her. Baking, I mean, it all matters. So if you're going to do it, do your research, talk to a professional, and get it done right. Doesn't cost anymore.
No, you're exactly right.
I mean, you know, mistakes are expensive.
Great ideas. As usual, of course, from Design Lines. Thank you so much, Judy.
You're welcome.